and now you had to feed them. Who financed? Because 8 pigs.
I had to.
Okay, how did you do that? When
Well,
you're
I
9
was
years
an
old?
entrepreneur.
That's what I want to hear about.
Yeah, I was an entrepreneur. My brother, he had to be 12 to carry the Des Moines Register and Tribune.
Okay,
And he carried it about 3 weeks and had too much work. He didn't want to do that.
okay.
So I'd like to have that paper out. So I carried it in his name for 2 years.
Oh my God.
And he had 4 daily customers and 11 Sunday customers. And I went to work on that paper route, and my hook or my crook, they was going to buy my paper or else, because they would allow you to. They would send you free samples. You could order so many free samples. So I'd pick a likely family, someone I knew could read, you know. and I'd carry the paper for about 3 weeks straight, see, get them used to reading it.
Yep.
Then I'd come back and say, do you want to buy the paper?
Got a
They
book.
like it.
I had 70 some Sundays and 20, I think it was 24 dailies.
Oh my God.
And,
my God.
well, I was getting to be aware that there wasn't that many people in Deloitte. But so I'd order about 10 extras and I'd sit on the bench. That's in the days when everybody come to town on Sunday morning to
Yeah.
do their shopping.
Yeah.
But I'd sit on that bench in front of and you've seen where the store was.
In front of the
Deloitte.
store,
Had
yeah.
a bench out front. And everybody that drove up to get the groceries, do you want to buy a paper? I begged them all. And that's the only way I could
Yeah.
get up to 74 Sundays. But I had an ulterior motive. Because for every so many papers increase, they'd give you a prize.
Okay.
And one of the prizes they would give me if I had, I don't know, 6 or maybe increase, was a siren.
A
That
siren.
you could hook on the front of your bicycle, you could pull a little cord against the wheel,
Oh
and
my
then
God.
rah. And boy, the kids in town, they just enamored with that siren. So I'd go uptown at night and sit on the bench in front of the barber shop. And I thought them kids, they could ride my bike around the block 5 times for a nickel.
Oh my God, you were an entrepreneur. Oh my God, this just keeps getting better.
And,
Oh my God.
and then the first thing you know, they decided that the World War got on, and they was going to tear the old depot down.
Uh-oh.
And I would keep piling up all this money in my little, I
Yeah.
crawled up above the coal bin in the old depot was a place where they're supposed to store storm windows. But there was no storm windows anymore, but there's just a nice little place up there. That was my hideout.
Oh.
Oh my
And
God.
I had my box up there, and put all my money in that box. And then because they're going to tear the old depot down, well, the folks had to have a place to live. And of course, they didn't have any money. There was 2 houses in town that I looked at. I was only about, not any more than 14 then. And I could buy one for $1,100, and I could buy the other one for $1,300.
No kidding.
And of course, I picked the $1,100 ones, and that house is still standing.
Oh,
It's the oldest house in Crawford County.
Oh my God.
It's, and you know what, the main body walls, it's only got 7-foot ceilings.
Mm-hmm.
It's not with sheetrock.
Okay.
It's 3-inch oak planking standing on end.
Oh.
Really?
The way we found that out, we got a fire in the chimney, and we had to do some fixing work. And that was really cold in the wintertime. That's the reason the all-burner was burning too hard. And they come up there with Dennison with their axes, and they try to chop into that
Yeah.
oak and fly right back in their face.
Yeah.
That axe couldn't touch that oak.
Yeah.
I don't know if too many people know that, but that's got to be the oldest house. See, Deloitte was the oldest town in Crawford County.
Yeah.
You heard that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
So Merle, how old do you think that house is?
well, it's built in 1849.
Oh my gosh.
And when we went to fix up there after that fire damage, we took some papers off the wall. And the papers that talked how nice it would be when the war was over.
Oh.
What war do you suppose that was?
World War One.
No, the
What?
Civil War.
What? The Civil War.
Silver.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yeah. They built.
Holy mackerel.
So that's an old house.
Deloitte's an old town.
But it's
It
still-
used to be called Mason's Grove to start with.
That was down below where Guy lived, down there by
Down
the
below,
the Otter Creek.
Yeah.
Down by
And
the
then they
river.
moved it up on the hill.
Yeah. So how did you come about buying the house then when they needed to buy a house?
Well, they needed a down payment. They had to have $100. So I got up there in my little box and I got out $100.
Oh.
Went up there and paid the down payment. Of course, then payments were only $10 a month, but $10 is a lot of money then.
Yeah.
And then they finished paying for it, and it wasn't too long. I went away to the service, you know.
Yeah.
But when I got home from the service, Mom insisted on paying me back that $100. I didn't want that $100 back. She insisted, like she gave $10 at a time. She brought me back that $100.
Well, I remember somebody saying one time that you had a problem collecting on one of your paper subscriptions.
I had a lot of trouble with that. Them cheapskates. And you know what? I'd go to the cemetery there at Deloitte to my mom and dad's grave, and I'd walk around the cemetery, look around, and say, "That guy owes me 60 cents." I bet you can't guess who that was. Oh, you're not old enough to remember.
Careful, because I'm related to about half of them there in the
It
cemetery.
was, well, I'm not talking about some of your relations. Excuse me, Jerry.
Yeah, I had that figured.
It was Merle Graham.
Merle.
Merle Graham. He was
Graham.
his Capper's Weekly salesman in town.
Oh, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that one. But how about the one that you took payment in a goose egg?
The what?
Took payment with a goose egg.
Oh, well, yeah, them people didn't have money, but they had geese. So I allowed them a nickel for a goose egg. But there was another piece of money coming there. Because I'd take that geese eggs home and hash them under my old setting hens. I had chickens. And I'd hatch them out under my old setting hens, and then and it don't take much to feed a goose. They eat mostly grass and weeds and stuff.
Yeah.
They a little bit of corn at the end to fatten them. But then when I put 20 chances on a cardboard, and went around my paper route, they could buy a chance on a goose for a dime. And I got $2 back for each one of them geese.
Oh my God.
And that's what I mean. When Chuck Offenberg wondered how long I'd been in business, I said, well, pretty all my life I've been in business. If you guys need something to drink,
No.
plenty in the
no.
fridge.
No, thank you. I don't anyway.
And tell Tom and Marlene again where you were born.
What?
Where were you born?
I was born in a boxcar.
Were you really?
My kids said, no, I says I was born in the boxcar, not under it. I was born in the boxcar.
A box.
And it's the truth.
Yeah.
No kid.
My dad worked for the railroad, and they set an old worn out boxcar off the track and put a hip roof on it and put a partition in, one end for the kitchen and dining room, the other end for the living room and bedroom, and it was kind of tight in there. They didn't make them boxcars as big as they do now.
No.
And when my dad had his mom, my grandma, died. She's a big, heavy woman. And she'd come to stay with us, and there's only one place to put Grandma, and that was in bed with me. And she squished me against the wall, and to top it all off, Grandma didn't smell good.
Merle, you have a colorful life.
Oh my God.
You could write a book.
Oh my God.
See, every Saturday night, Mom would put us kids in the tub, a regular old round wash
Yeah.
tub, just give us a scrub a dub dub, and Grandma was too heavy to give a bath, so she never got a bath.
Oh my God.
And they didn't have nursing homes back then, and each kid had to take care of Grandma for I think about a month. Then she'd move on to the next
Yeah.
one.
Sure.
My dad had 7 siblings, So we had to take our turn taking care of Grandma.
Okay, got it.
And my dad had a Model T Ford that had one of these cloth tops that folded down like an old buggy. The old original Model T is what it was. And my dad had a sister up by Brogan there that was a farm lady, and she would cook lunch for a fabulous Sunday dinner every Sunday. So, and my dad had lived with her before he got married for a while, and so every Sunday we had to head for Aunt Minnie's house for lunch or dinner, and we called it dinner then. We didn't eat dinner.
We still call it dinner.
It's still
At our
dinner.
house.
That's our,
Dinner
in our
is
house,
supper.
Merle, it's dinner.
You're still eating dinner.
Damn
yeah.
right.
And we
Good.
eat supper.
I love these darn people. They talk about eating dinner. I said, I already had my dinner.
Well, you got lunch, you got breakfast, you got lunch, you got dinner, you got lunch, you got supper.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at 3:30, that lunch better be on the, where it belongs.
You betcha. And, but anyway, Grandma would have to sit in the front seat with Dad, and Mom and us 6 kids would be in the back seat of that old T. And they got some big hills down there. You know what it's like down by Brogan and Herring in that area.
Yes.
All them big hills in
Yes.
Crawford County.
Yes.
And that old T wouldn't take all of us up the hill at once, so
Oh,
Dad would have to haul. He would set Mom and I out at the bottom of the hill, take Grandma to the top of the hill,
Oh my God.
and she'd sit on the side of the road. And then he'd come down and get Mom and us kids and bring us up, and they'd get Grandma back in the car. Away we'd go again.
Oh my gosh.
Offenberger needs to come back.
So where was this
Give him
train
enough
car
material for a
sitting?
year.
What?
Where you were born?
Well,
Where
it
was
was-
the car sitting?
Well, they had what they called a house track, where they, I don't know, just where they did, if some businesses needed, if we would get a car in and with something in it to unload or something, they called it a house track. And we were sitting right within about 12, 14 feet of that house track on this beside the railroad track. And to talk about that kohlrabi, I was eating kohlrabi there once, and the train went by, and the conductor on the back end all the time. They had a caboose then,
Yeah.
and he was always leaning way out, looking up alongside the train to see if there's any hot
Where this
boxes.
is
And you know what happened with the kohlrabi? I went to throw it at the train and hit the conductor. And boy, was I in trouble.
Oh my gosh.
So let's go back to living in the depot, because I was going, why did your family live in the
What?
train depot? Why did your family live in the train depot? But now you say your dad worked
Well,
for the
the-
railroad, and maybe
They moved the section. The section was that was up at Ells, Iowa. You know where Ells is?
I know where Al's
Yeah,
is.
only
Yeah.
one house there left.
Yeah.
It was old Albert Ells' house,
Okay.
and they moved it from there. They got the railroads put in a little better shape, and then so they could lengthen the sections so that one crew could take care of it a few more miles. So they moved it from Ells down to Deloitte. That's where we come to Deloitte.
That's when you come to Deloitte.
Yeah.
But you were actually born
In Ells.
in Ells.
Yeah,
On that
in
side
boxcar.
side track. Yeah.
No kidding.
oh my
Yeah.
God, that is
And right now there's nothing left of L's.
And no, nothing there except Albert Ells' house. We drove through there the other day.
Oh,
But
okay.
these girls that look after me,
Yeah.
they're great entertainers. They're
Really?
sweethearts. They really are.
I don't know who's entertaining who.
Yeah.
I think it's the other way around. I bet they come here to be entertained.
That one does. She can't keep her away.
God.
She thought she might should come today.
Oh my
I
God.
thought, well, I don't usually need anybody all over the weekend.
You know what I called Merle last time I seen him?